One. Hola, bonjour, and good day, Governor, to every single one of you. It is Worldwide Tea. It is the podcast where every single week we recap and recount everything that's going on in the international seasons of RuPaul's Drag Race. And
RuPaul's
as
Drag Race.
always, it's me, Evan Sawdey from Pot Matters.
It is Gregory Ellwood from the playlist and sometimes the LA Times.
And y'all, I'm not sure if you've noticed this, we split up our coverage a little bit over here. I think doing the individual episodes, the individual things that you can listen to, has been working out great. So thank you everybody who followed along last week for our continuing UK coverage. If you like what we're doing, we're also doing it in España. And if you really like what we're doing, follow us on the Bluesky, follow us on Instagram, give us a like and a comment, and subscribe on the YouTube and the Spotify and all that stuff. It seems like small. I know we say it every single week, but genuinely, those clicks do actually count. It is the whole reason why we actually have an audience now and followers. And thank you so much for everyone for doing it and sharing it. We really appreciate it. But most importantly, we appreciate you going through UK with us. And Gregory, I don't know about you, but maybe my tune be changing because maybe the season's getting a little bit better. I don't know if you think the same. I think it might be slowly not being as terrible as the first two episodes. What do you think?
I am genuinely shocked because
Shocked.
what I have seen from the universal reaction from this episode is people starting to comment about the judging, like more than
Oh,
ever. And I've seen it everywhere. I've had friends say it too. So I'm genuinely shocked. But we're gonna find out as we go through this episode.
yeah.
But I will tell you this. You know what we should do, Evan? We should
What?
play the world's smallest violin for Viola, who is now gone. Um,
Absolutely.
do you
Yeah, and
really think
you know what Viola should have said for her exit line,
no,
if
what
I'm
you
being
should
honest.
have said?
She should have said, "In this house of love, we believe that all drag is valid, and no queen ever deserves online hate. And as American entertainment viewers, we may not get every single AbFab reference, and we appreciate corrections. And there's some truly great queens who aren't good at Drag Race. We appreciate them all the same. But yes, Greg, Viola has gone home, and I think it's Nyongbella who says that we should play the world's smallest violin for her, and then proceeds to do so with her nose flute." With her little nose flute, which is
Whatever the hell that shit
incredible.
was.
Incredible. I think it's also Viola who says she came in with a big violin and left as a massacred teddy bear, which is not untrue. It certainly is what happened, but you know what? It's a
You
wild
know,
journey she had.
the only thing that I took away from them returning from the room that I did not know before is did we know that Elle and Viola were good friends? I don't know if we knew this.
As always,
Because they're hiding friendships on this show, I think. Did we know they were good friends?
no, we did not. But
No, we
or
didn't.
maybe they're saving face, and maybe this is just a nice thing to say. Who
Oh,
knows?
okay.
I mean, you know, you never know in these instances. I remember I actually rewatched Drag Race Canada season 2, episode 2 last night, and I think at the very start, it is Kendall Jenner who says, you know, Beth, she was lovely for the very short time she was here, but it was short. And it's like, yep, I mean, that feels a lot more accurate than instead of she was my best friend in the competition. I can't believe she's gone. Oh, okay, cool. Tell us. But yes, so, while before they fully unpack for the day,
Yeah.
Celexa notes that she has not received a single critique as of yet. She's hoping this might be the episode that changes it around. Spoiler alert, it is. Not in the way she
It is.
wants.
No. I would
Yeah.
never wish for that with producers listening. Um,
Yes.
and also we also find out page three wants a win, which has been a theme. She
Oh,
wants a win.
really?
Do you think
Wow.
they might play mind games with I don't know, maybe. Um,
RuPaul's Break Jan race is back, except now it's
uh,
page 3, so yeah.
yeah, exactly. But we cut to RuPaul's Drag Race theme and intro credits, and we find out that this week, Michelle Visage is there, Alan Carr is there, and Jane Horrock, who I don't think you know who she is, who
Correct.
played Bubbles on Absolutely Fabulous, is the guest judge, and she is an iconic British comedy actress. She was also in oh my God, I'm forgetting the name of the movie, but it was like Oscar. It had an Oscar nomination from it. It was like in the early aughts. It was like
Hmm.
oh, Little Voice.
Oh,
It
yes,
was
yes, I remember
really
that.
big.
Yeah.
She's in that
Yeah.
as well. And she is they are eventually will be very excited she's there. But they come into
Hmm.
the workroom, and what do we learn? Do we learn anything, Evan?
So first off, just I want to just quickly highlight that this is a absolutely fabulous themed episode that is largely what the runway is based off of here. And Greg, I'm not sure if you've been scrolling or browsing on the US iteration of the World of Wonder Plus Presents app late, but did you know that all of Absolutely Fabulous is on there? Just just
I
just so happens, just
I actually
completely
think it's
coinky dink.
I'm gonna be honest, I genuinely think it's a coincidence. This is an icon. Absolutely Fabulous is like the Golden Girls of for the
Of the UK.
BBC in the UK.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm actually we've already had Joanna Lumley on. We've already had
Hmm.
the other actress who played Eddie.
Jennifer Saunders, yeah.
Jennifer Saunders. So we eventually this is going to come around. I am shocked. This was the first time we actually had an absolutely fabulous runway. I
Hmm.
can't believe it took 7 seasons, but they only do a theme one a year, so it makes sense. But what we do learn is that Paige is at the table and she's doing the producer's job and asks the question everyone wants to know. Tyrus and Catrin, do you fancy each other?
And they
And
are
we
being
get
coy and they're being maybe, and then they basically all but confirm the truth that we all
and
secretly know.
and Tyrus says when she sees Catrin, which is not a compliment, I look at her drag and I see manly man.
And she likes manly men. So,
She like
but it's really cute. This feels like the most in effective showmance that we've seen on the show so far. Like it just feels like cute, but will it do anything? Like it feels like kind of
mm.
a forced narrative, and like maybe it's actually true, but it just doesn't have the heft of say Brooklyn and Vanjie or something like that. It's just
Although it might be more genuine.
mhm.
We don't know.
Fair,
I mean,
absolutely fair.
we don't know. We do get the opportunity for Sally to pull out the iconic and often repeated Drag Race line, "Sister Dick will make you sick."
Hmm.
And then we also have Chai Grande in a confessional saying she isn't here to win a boyfriend. In fact, I think she's here to audition for Slation Royale, but she isn't there for that either. She
No,
says she is here to win that 25,000 pounds, and she wants a win. And to be honest, she's been sort of fucked over the first couple episodes,
I would
and
agree.
the producers may not be realizing it, but they're hinting she might be fucked over again. Um,
Hmm.
but we find out that Rue comes into the workroom and they are going to be doing this week a 3-part television series acting challenge called Mother Tuckas in the glamorous world of 1980s erotic fiction, which is their way of doing a dynasty or Dallas soap opera without calling it that and doing
Hmm.
it in a new way that the British public don't even know. But it's the same challenge we've seen at least 5 times in the US, and I think they've already done
Correct.
it here. Um,
Yes.
were you excited about the prospect of this challenge, Evan?
No. This is as much as I love seeing Jackie Collins cosplay as much as anyone else. Anytime there is a drag race acting challenge, especially this early on in the season, we've been there, Greg. We've seen the writing. We know what happens. I was not excited, but you know what? We have to take our lumps, as they say. Spoonful of sugar makes the medicine go down. So let's get to it. Let's get it over with.
I will say really quickly before we find out that Bones is going to pick the teams, there is no way any of these queens know what this erotic 1980s fiction is at all.
Hmm.
They were clearly told later on what this meant. They have no clue. They have no idea who
Hmm.
Jackie Collins is, not even the oldest one in the group, who I think is 35. Anyway, Bones picks the teams, and she picks for her team Elle, Skrillex, and Page 3. And then but the third team is Bonnie, Tyrus, and Sally TM. Sorry, the second team. And then the third team, which, looks like it could be a little difficult, is Chai T. Grand, Catrin, and Nyongbella. Um, and then someone else decides what episodes they're going to do because I feel like Bones was told who to tell, who to pick.
Yep, maybe. Just maybe.
But maybe.
Uh
Evan, would you like to give the very creative names of the 3 different episodes?
Episode 1 with Bones' team is Lucky Bitches. Episode 2 with Bonnie's team is Tucky Bitches. And episode 3 with Chai's team is Mucky Bitches. I'm really upset you made me say that, Greg.
Yeah.
I am a award looking at journalist. I feel like this is above beneath my station, but you know what? We're here. We're powering through. Speaking of things that are forced upon things, can we talk about immediately after these teams are picked and they separate into their groups? The drama that is forced on, specifically with Sally being like, hey, Bones, was there any strategy in picking out the teams? And it's like, no, not really. And like, it felt like this really forced kind of
Yeah.
moment. I
Mm-hmm. Yep.
if anyone's been listening to our coverage of some of the other seasons right there, Station Royale was rife with drama and intrigue and international versus Pinoy girls. Like there was a lot of undercurrents and things that were going on that I thought were deeply interesting. And if you listen to España, especially if we're covering this week since these two seasons are running in parallel, España, oh, they be fighting. This ain't some put upon shit. This is some real
Yeah, it's
ass
real.
deep shit that they're doing. This here, I think that's maybe part of the reason why there may be less of a oomph that we're experiencing with UK right now is that everything just feels this page three versus Bone storyline,
Yeah.
this whole like showman's thing, everything just feels so just inadequate. Like there's
Uh,
no real stakes at hands. It's very odd. Yeah.
I believe the word is produced. It all feels very produced.
Hmm.
And in fact, I think production must be frustrated with Bones because Bones continues to demonstrate that she's just sort of down to earth and not the diva that they think she is.
They
And every
really want to paint
time
her in that diva
they
box. They
do,
really
and
do.
every time someone tries to prompt her, she says exactly what she says. What you sort of reflected on, and she'll go, No, like
Hmm.
we're just doing this. Like she
She'll
is
toss
very.
out a sassy line, but like only because she
Oh
has
yeah,
to. It's not like she's never the provoker in these situations. And that's why it's like low-key, week after week, I'm like, I just like Bones more. I don't know what they're
yes.
trying to do, but like she just comes off great. Sorry.
And by the way, I don't know if you said at the beginning of this episode that we are not here to criticize any queens. We're not here to give them any hate. We love them all. We respect their drag. But I do need to make a point that for 27 years old, Sally is insanely bald. Like there is, there is, there,
Clip it. Someone clip
I
it.
mean,
Uh,
I'm so sorry, but like there is not anything on the top of her head. It's not. It is shiny, like there hasn't been a hair up there since she was 14. It's sort of blowing my mind. I know that I mean there is no turkey in her future. Like this is not happening.
Listen,
Anyway.
Greg is just gonna put his foot in his mouth in episode 8 when she reveals that she suffers from alopecia,
Oh,
and just like
damn
is gonna
it.
be a whole thing. I mean, low key though, there was an
Oh,
episode of So You Think You Can Dance like 2 seasons ago where there was a bald contestant, and she was just like, "And I suffer from alopecia." They gave her a whole B-roll package with sad music and everything, and it's just like, okay, like it was just like sometimes you gotta find a storyline wherever it may be. One time I was on a street and I fell down once. Like it's yeah, we'll find out. But yes, she is very
we'll
bald.
find
You are
out.
correct.
But more importantly, either later that day, I think it was later that day, the queens meet Michelle Visage on set,
Hmm.
and they are in the costumes provided to them to play these characters.
And
And there
to
were,
be fair, I will say for the two main leads, the fact that the shoulder pads get bigger in
oh
every
yeah,
episode was a cute little touch. I see what you're doing there, costume crew, and I respect you. You're great.
and we don't know it at the time, but six of the queens are playing the same two characters, which is
Correct.
sort of a surprise. It would have been
Hmm.
more interesting if they'd revealed that before, so you had a better idea
Yep.
of the context, but who cares? Um, but there were
Yeah.
a couple things that I noticed during this Michelle directing moment. For a moment, you believe that page three is getting the uh-oh, is she screwing up on set while we're filming edit, and is she going to be penalized for this? Um, and then also, I wrote Muffy has no breasts. Oh, so Skrillex and Bones are both twins, but one of them has breasts and the other one doesn't, which becomes something later on. And also, both of their beard coverage is terrible. It's really bad. And I don't know if they were rushed or whatever. Sally being transfixed by Michelle was sort of hilarious, but she's struggling in theory.
Blah, blah, blah,
Blah,
blah,
blah,
blah.
blah, blah, blah. Um, And did you figure out the mystery co-star? Because I figured it out right away.
I did not, for the record.
Oh,
I thought it was like, or did we bring back Danny Beard or something? It was all behind the shots, so it was news to me. But you know what, Greg, when you talk about what Paige, she was maybe been struggling in the challenge. Do you
yeah.
think that maybe off camera they brought in Javier Ambrosi and Calvo to maybe like give her a little hug and kiss to help her out? Do you think that's what she needed in order to do it? Anyone who listens to our Espana coverage knows that that's a great joke.
That's
But
a
oh my
really good
God.
joke. That's really good.
Uh,
Honestly, I just cannot imagine how much the UK queens would scream if the judges went over and hugged another queen. They would literally call BBC Human Resources. They'd be like,
Yeah.
"What is happening?"
Unfair
Um,
treatment. I will
Unfair
say one of
treatment.
Michelle's best notes that she gives was when Bonnie and Tayra's tried doing a bizarre introduction for their episode. She says it needs to be, it's too theater, it needs to be more television, it needs to be more fast paced. And then there's a lot of just general, this is your first time on television, please face the
Yeah,
cameras when you're presenting kind of thing, which is very standard note, but it really becomes prominent this episode. Go ahead.
I dis that's not how you act. I actually got really mad at that, and it's not how they've had winners in other episodes and other seasons do, but we can get to that when it's on the judging. But
Yep.
that really pissed me off.
Mhm.
But they go back into the workroom after they film their episodes, and we learn some stuff about Tyrus,
Mhm.
and we find
She talked.
out that. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, she talks about she's very grateful for the family bonds that she has because she and her sister at one point had to be put into the care system due to her mother dealing with mental health and drug issues, and so while they were in the care system at the age of 6 was molested, and so they've weirdly enough the power of drag has somewhat reunited them and they've been able to get through it, but really just has an overall just very sweet and very a genuine
Yeah.
moment, which is actually very moving and affecting, and again, those queen stories remain some of the best parts of the show altogether. So yeah,
And it did scare me that she might be going home. Like it did for a moment be like,
hundred
oh,
percent, 100%, 100%. So we'll see. I think she's gonna win this show. I do not believe so, but still, like I don't think she's out this early at least. But yeah,
but like Poseidon, she has, or maybe not. Poseidon, by the way, if you did not watch Drag Race Brazil season 3, and we don't blame it if you didn't, Poseidon was a queen who struggled early on and then
hmm
somehow became a judge's favorite through the rest of the season. And Tyrus, is it Tyrus or Tyrus? It's Tyrus.
Taurus.
Tyrus, Jesus. Tyrus, Tyrus might be going down that road, Evan. I'm not sure. She might be. We're gonna find
Yeah,
out. Um, but Rue comes out onto the runway, and as we've talked about with previous UK seasons, Rue tends to have the more cool, clubby looks on
hmm
UK. Zaldi saves them for the UK. I don't know if the budget's more. And then the more matronly looks more recently for the US, which sucks ass. But this was more of a little bit of a US Drag Race look. I thought this was came from the US Drag Race closet.
I would agree.
But I loved the wig. I thought the wig was
hmm
great.
Yeah.
Um, and it's time for they do the runways first. And Evan, I'm going to go through this, and I know you are not the most educated on Absolutely Fabulous.
Correct. And
So
so therefore I
please,
have my opinions on this are going to be very different because a lot of things that they do on the show are very character accurate and character specific. I think some of this, if you're just looking at it as drag, may not be as
yes.
impressive. But again, per our podcast, different levels of experience. I know some people may not have seen all of Absolutely Fabulous just like I have, and some people have seen all of it like Greg has. So differing perspectives, we're going to jump into both of them. Yeah.
And I'm gonna give quick explanations so that even Evan understands if he was unsure
And
before.
I appreciate
Uh,
that.
so Bones comes out and it's Le Flip. No, it's not. It's or sorry, Le Philippe. How could I get it wrong?
Lip
It's
lip.
Patsy as a cigarette, as a dress as cigarette. Um, on the show, Patsy played by uh oh my God, guys, we're recording this so late, but
You
Joanna
mean Patsy,
Lumley.
the one played by Joanna Lumley?
Patsy,
Yes,
but
I know
Joanna
that
Lumley.
much at least.
She's always smoking a cigarette, so it makes
Yes.
sense. My
If
take, though, was
US
I
US
love the
audiences may even know when Vivian did her on Snatch Game during All Stars
yes,
US All Stars season 7. So just as a point of reference, yes.
yes. Um, I loved the idea, but I thought the execution was not 100% there. I thought it looked bad and cheaped and rushed. What
Better
did you think of
idea
it?
than better idea in concept than it was in execution. I still thought it was cute. But yes, I don't think it was the look of the week by any means.
So in the first season of Absolutely Fabulous, they go skiing in the Swiss Alps, and that is what page three is referencing. And this is sort of a deep cut to do, like, but she
Hmm.
also was realizing no one else is going to do this. It did not look that much like the skiing outfit that Patsy had worn, or sorry, that Patsy had worn. But I, she had fun with it with the cigarettes in the hood. I thought it was okay. I didn't love it, and I thought she might have overthought the prompt. What did you think?
When she brought up the hood and the cigarettes were dangling from it, like that may have been an add-on. It still felt kind of maybe drag closet a little bit, but like it was fine for what it is. I feel like this is most of Paige's runways though. Most of Paige's runways are an almost. Like they're good in idea, they're pretty good in execution. They just don't always hit that finish line the way that you expect them to. We've seen this kind
Yeah.
of consistently through her, and I thought this was just another example on that road.
So Elvas comes out and she's doing Bubble, who is Jane Horrocks, who is there, from the AbFab movie, which is a deep cut. So this movie was released in the US by Searchlight Pictures. It did very
Hmm.
well. But also Bubble's barely in the film. So she's referencing a costume that like no one else was going to do, but she looks like Bubbles, and that sort of works. But I also thought she looked like Delta Work. Like I wasn't really getting Bubbles. I was getting Delta Work. What did you think
Wait,
of Elle's look?
Charlie Hyde's looked great. What are you
Uh,
talking about? I thought this was. I have a feeling Charlie Hyde's entrance look was probably based on this. Maybe better executed. But yeah, this felt lazy. Because
it
it's his
did.
shirt, and like, listen, I love that you put both characters on the front and back of it, but it just felt very blah. And especially,
Oh,
yeah,
but this is why it looked like Delta Work is on season three of Drag Race.
she
She
had.
did a look with this, and I thought,
Yes,
and I was shocked they gave her a pass. It
yeah.
is similar to something that, by the way, Bubbles wore on the show or in the movie, but it's such a cheap way to go about it, and sometimes she's young and it pops a little bit.
Mhm.
Anyway,
And again,
uh,
after some of her runways that we've already had from Elle, this was just a bit of a disappointment, if I'm
yes.
being honest. Yes.
100%. Up next was Skrillex, and she's also doing Patsy inspired. Here's the thing. I did not love the tan color choice personally. I didn't love
Hmm.
it, but I actually thought it was a really great dress or outfit, and it's Patsy. It is inherently
Hmm.
Patsy. And if you look online, people are very upset with how this was judged because it was the prompt. It's a great look. It's fashion forward, and we'll learn later on she gets dinged for some reason because Michelle and Rue just decide they don't like it. And
Yeah.
wild to me.
If
Um,
she was on Espana, she could have been an orange. That's the way I think of it. She really could have knocked it out of the park as a fruit
you
for a
could
certain
have.
fruit-based runway.
You
But
so you
yeah,
didn't love this then. You didn't like this look.
I thought it was nice. I thought it was good. I'll be honest, could it have used just a little bit of glam? Could it have used a little bit more sparkle because it's a drag look? I
Sure.
think so. That said, it was still solid. Yeah.
Okay. Tyrus is next, and she was doing bubbles, but I gotta be really honest, I did not know the reference for this. I thought it was really random. But Jane is laughing at it and is into it, so that might be all that matters. What did you think of this
It,
look?
it felt like Drag Closet. Again, if this was a reference, because again, they didn't have any reference photos to show us, unfortunately,
No.
so there's nothing that we can necessarily correlate one to one on. And for that reason, it just looks so outside of the box. Again, if the actress who played her has an affinity for it, that's one thing, but like it just did not read. With any of these other looks, even with Selexa's look, I could look at it and be like, that's an AbFab runway. Even with my limited knowledge of it, I can point out to most of these, be like, oh, that's AbFab, 100%. It's got a cigarette, it's got the bouffant hair, it's got all of that. Not this. This I would not have been able to guess at all whatsoever. So, did not speak to me.
You know what? You bring up an absolutely excellent point. The BBC owns Absolutely Fabulous. It is not something that's owned by Jennifer Saunders and her creative team who came up with it. They own the show.
Yeah,
They owned the movie. Like, there's no reason why they can't pull still photos, which they have many of them, they're all online, to reference this or even do a screenshot to reference it because
right.
it's their show. So part of me is wondering that maybe production didn't want to do it because it made the runways look worse. Like that's all I can think of. It is
Right.
wild though that they didn't. The US would have done it in a heartbeat.
Heartbeat.
It's so
Heartbeat.
weird.
Yeah.
Up next is Sally TM, and this is again, I do not understand what her reference is. And by the way, the judges didn't understand what the reference was either. But I liked it out of context. I, I sort of. Again, I do not remember Eddie ever wearing a Jennifer Saunders an outfit like this. So this was weird to me.
Listen, I think what Michelle's critique was something of like, did it have anything to do with the show? No, but you captured the essence of it. And it's just like, girl, she's frisbees. She's five frisbees in a black dress. This what? This and listen, I think you could say that Drake and I really like Sally. I think we really like her. I think she has
Yeah,
a lot going for her. This was not it. Like you could maybe do a stretch and say that this is close to the logo of the show with the orange and pink type font and that specific font on here. You could maybe tie that in. It still felt outside of it. And hey,
yeah.
maybe there's this AbFab super fan that will have an image that they can send us on Bluesky or Instagram that's like, this is what they're referencing. And like, oh, okay, we get it. But if the Michelle didn't get it, I'm definitely not going to get it. And it felt incongruous. She got it. She got the producer's pass this week.
Oh, not even if Alan didn't get it. Alan would know this show
Right.
back and forth. So
Right.
that was wild.
Oh yeah.
Up next was Bonnie and Clyde. And here's the thing, she sells what she's wearing very well. I actually thought it was Bubbles at first. It was sort of giving me Bubbles, but it's not. It was Patsy in the 1960s. So also in the first season, there's flashbacks to the 60s when the Patsy and Eddie are younger. And it's from that, but I don't think her outfit looked like this. It was I need to see the episode again, but I don't remember it that way. But they seem to like it and they like how she sold it, so I guess it didn't matter.
All that matters is that she did it on Thursday. And this is one of those things where this is a very specific show reference that makes Rue cackle and laugh like the happy hyena that she is. Like, it's the thing where it's like, it is. I knew the second that she got to do the little catchphrase moment, it's done. It's game over. Rue has
Yeah.
found her favorite for the week. She's going to make her say it three more times, which effectively is what happens. And she's going to take it. Like, it's a pretty clear top two on there, but like, the writing was on the wall as soon as this came out. She knew the reference and it got the laugh. We're done. Game over.
So, Evan, I'm going to say this. If there was any evidence where Chai T. Grand could do a class action lawsuit against the producers of RuPaul's Drag Race, it would be their judging of this runway because she does one of the smartest runways of the entire episode. She comes out in a La Croix bag. La Croix
Mhm.
is a inherent part of especially the first season of Drag Race. Sorry, of Absolutely
Absolutely
Fabulous.
fabulous.
It's part of a Pet Shop Boys Absolutely Fabulous song, which by the way is fucking awesome if you've never heard it. And she says it's a line that's La Croix, La Croix, La Croix.
Uh-huh.
It is every drag queen who does Eddie in a mix has that in there. It is absolutely fabulous to a T. And she comes out in the La Croix box bag, drops it, and is wearing a La Croix inspired outfit. It is so smart. And she's the only queen not trying to copy one of the other characters and do the
Mhm.
show. And isn't we'll tell you where she is later, but it's so wrong. It's so wrong that this did not get her safe, at least.
Well, it's crazy that this gets criticized and yet Sally gets the pass for this
Yeah.
abstract look. Like this is specifically referencing the show, which she explains in the voiceover, so even I could get it. And like again, even again, when we go back to the Snatch Game by the Vivian, she talks about like the love of brands and everything else that happens with
Mhm.
Joanna Lumley. Like it's very clear what happens with that, and it's disappointing. It's disappointing that she gets this treatment.
Up next is Nyongbella, who also gets fucked over because she is the only queen who does Safi, who is Eddie's daughter, who is the
Hmm.
straight, for lack of a better word in comedy, the straight man on the show. She's always the subject of Eddie and Patsy's sort of dings and insults, but she's always the audience in a way, sort of snapping back at them. And she
Hmm.
looks just like her. Like the second she turned around, I was like, "Yep, that's Safi." Like, and they criticized her for saying that she didn't drag it up enough or something. And I was like, "What are you talking about?" Like, it's it's the best thing she's done, and I felt bad for Young Bella because why are you penalizing someone who did a character nobody else did and did it well? Like,
Right.
wild to me.
Yeah.
Um,
Just yeah.
Up next is Catrin Feelings, and I'll say this: she is also really the only queen who does Eddie this week, and she's not afraid to do Eddie. Eddie is not glamorous. Eddie is always trying to look glamorous and always looks like she's failing, because she is. I thought it was a smart look, and she sort of dragged it up. And as much as I don't like Catrin, I mean she's fine. I will compliment this. This was good.
it's mixed patterns, it's mixed fabric. Like it just kind of like works together. You get that hippy
Yep.
dippy sense of it. She sells it. Like it genuinely. I am of the same opinion as Greg about Catrin feelings. So yes.
But I do have to say, as a fan of Absolutely Fabulous, this would be like watching a Golden Girls runway and just being disappointed. Like this
Mhm.
isn't what you would hope for, especially with so many queens. If it was like five or six and they did it, and you're like, oh, I guess it's gonna be, whatever. This was disappointing, at least to me.
I know. They should really have the drag queens do a challenge where they create a hotel room and it's Golden Girls themed and ding them for that. That's really what they should be doing, truth
They
be
should.
told. But, that's just me.
But the queens are all out there, Evan, and we watch this Mother Tuckas
Mother
or
Tuckers.
Tuckas. Would you like to talk about episode one?
No. Like this is like of the show ones that we've had, this is a little bit better than some of the other ones we have, but it's not really due to the material. It really is due to the Queen's acting because they do have the overactors in the right places for the most
Yes.
part. They do have, Elle, I think does a pretty good job overall doing her part. Paige does okay, I think for the most part in this
Oh,
first
wow.
part. Do you not
I
agree?
thought I thought Paige was way better than Elle. I thought Elle faded to the background. I didn't think she
Mm.
was good in this at all. And I thought that Bones and Skrillex were the best part of it. And then, to be honest, but I thought Paige was really, really good. And I can we spoil who the guest star is?
Yes.
Because Alan Carr comes out as sort of this his character's name is Roger Dick Willie, and he's giving
Hmm.
Fabio, but like not giving Fabio, like a British Fabio, and he's fucking hilarious, dude. Like I
He
was literally laughing at him every time he came back out. He's so good, and you're just like put him in every comedy challenge for the
hmm
rest of the run of this show.
hmm hmm Every time. Every fucking time, bitch. Like it's so real. And like yeah, it kind of actually shows them how to do it. Like it's kind
Hmm.
of amazing. And I will say that as we move on to the other groups, I will also say that Bonnie does pretty good. I think
Yep.
Tavers and Sally they do okay. I do think Sally loses words and then gets the constant I couldn't understand what you were saying, but you were just so darn funny critique,
Oh,
as always, on there, even though actual words were lost in the script. And similarly, I mean, Catrin knew exactly what she was doing when she was taking on the same role. I give
yeah.
credit to Chai T. Grande for really stepping up to the plate and really kind of giving it in their scene in the episode 3.
I thought Shy and Nyongbella were very, very good in theirs, and I did not think that they were anywhere near bottom.
Hmm.
I thought they were safe at worst. And I thought the only other thing is Alan steals every skit that he comes in. He's the best. And if Bonnie won, it's because she took a fake Terrace ragdoll and slammed it all over the floor. And just Rue just loved it. And by the way, she got fucking lucky because any queen who'd had that bit would have
Hmm.
won the episode.
I would
So
fully agree.
she, unless maybe Skrillex would have fucked it up, but like someone would have maybe not done well with it, but she killed it. Um, and I actually wrote before I knew what the outcome was. I wrote Elle and Tavis probably the least memorable out of all of them. But no, not with this judging on this season
Not at
of RuPaul's Drag
all.
Race UK.
UK.
So we have Safe, page three, who I thought was high. We have
Hmm.
Elle, who's safe, who I thought was low. And we have Bones, who I thought was definitely safe. And we have Taris, who I thought was low. What did
Hmm.
you think, Evan?
I agree with you on a lot of these points because who are our tops? Our tops are the over actors for this week. It's Bonnie, it's Sally, although her critique is a little bit in the gray area, so I kind of am not really sure if
Yeah.
she really is or not. And Catrin. And the bottoms are Celexa and Chai and Nyongbella. And I gotta be honest, Greg, this is giving John Fideliaglia again. This is giving
Mm-hmm.
queens that Brew is just bored playing with at this point, which sucks because I think that already Celexa and Chai and Nyongbella have all shown that they are more clever than the show allows them to. I think that they have shown great range. And with Nyongbella, again, I've said it before and I'll say it again, she just can't stop being iconic in everything that she does. She is insane and lovely and beautiful. And like, I'm just a little bit flummoxed if I'm being real. Yeah.
I'm gonna say something that will be slightly controversial and but it's been parroted online, not from me, but it's
Hmm.
sort of being a talking point from people is and the show has a great track record outside of the UK of rewarding queens of color. It does
Yes.
not in the UK. And
Yes.
why are the two of the three queens of color that are left on this cast in the bottom for this episode? It does not make any sense. It is bizarre. And I'm not saying there's a conspiracy, but there is something weird here. I don't understand it. I don't know if it's the producers thinking that they think the audience won't like it unless they have traditional comedy British queens all the way to the end, but it is so wild to me. Like
Hmm.
it sort of blew my mind.
Right, because it's if you think about the history too, it's like what did we have in the other recent seasons? We had Black Peppa, who made it to top four, but after she lip synced a billion times and winning the
Yeah,
first episode, we had Tace, who also had to lip sync multiple times, but still made it to top three. Like it's been difficult because if you think about most of the other cast of the season, it's not been as great representation for queens of non-white orientations to be told. So this kind of again plays on the own thing. You can blame it on casting, you can blame it on Rue, you can blame it on whatever you want, but it just always it's definitely a pattern, and it's an unfortunate one if we're being real.
it's just odd because it hasn't happened. It didn't happen in Down Under. It didn't
Hmm.
happen in. It hasn't. It's clearly not. Never in the U.S. Like
Hmm.
the first queen was African. It was BB Harris in it. It's just
And the most
it
recent
is.
one is it. Yeah.
Yeah, I do not understand what happens in the UK with this. It's so weird to me.
Hmm.
But anyway, they're in the back. They're in the
You wanted
workroom.
honest talk. That's why you're listening to
We want
Worldwide
an
Tea,
honest
babe.
talk.
It's
You're
what we
getting
do.
it. I mean,
Exactly.
by the way, we're not make if there wasn't a trend of all this, we're seven
Hmm.
seasons in. This isn't a criticism like 2 seasons or 3 seasons in. There's
Right.
100 episodes, or with verses, there must be 90 episodes at least. Like
Hmm.
it's so weird.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I mean they did crown Tia Coffee. Let's be real at the very end of that, but that was also a versus season, and you can talk about that. But standard regular season Drag Race is still a windy little thing. Let's put it that way.
100%. In the workroom, really quickly, Paige and Tayrus are not happy being safe. This is before the other queens come back. They should be, considering what the criticisms were out there. And I said Tayrus should be happy she's not low. They come back, and Skrillex thinks she's low because of her outfit. And she takes that criticism pretty well, but I didn't think it was that basic. Sally thought she was in the bottom, which was surprising. And the other queens
Her
have to tell her
critiques were
that,
unclear, but then she also breaks
yeah.
down because she also feels like she's finally being accepted for being the weirdo that she is, and everyone gathers around and blah 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 blah. Yeah.
Skrillex says she should be crying and not Sally, which is
Yes.
very true. Which is makes Skrillex, to be honest, a little bit endearing. She's starting to become endearing.
Hmm.
And Nyong is feeling deflated, and I don't blame her. Like,
I don't blame her either, truth be told. She deserves so much better, genuinely.
um, and even more so, Chai admits that she is feeling more and more shaken, and I would be too. Like,
Right.
I don't understand why this keeps happening to her. But anyway, they come back out onto the stage. Evan, who is our winner? Who is high, and who is lip syncing for their lives?
Well, they make it very clear that it's not Sally who's going to be winning. Instead, they make it a very clear neck and neck race between Catrin and Bonnie. And against the grain, against the odds, and due to the fact that she says Thursday a lot, you know what? They're going to give it to her. They're going to give it to her. Bonnie and Clyde takes in her first Rue badge for the season and wins the challenge. And sure, it's an overacting challenge. They just
Thursday.
going to keep doing it. Let's be real. So, anyways, that
Thursday.
happens. Yes. Then. On top of that, they then proceed to go, and we have our bottom three. And against all odds, it looks like Chai Tea Grande has avoided the axe, and therefore it is now down to Nyongbella and Selexa. And they have to do something quite wild, Greg. They have to do something which has actually never been done in the history of UK Drag Race. That's right. They get to lip sync to a motherfucking Jessie Ware song. Bear in mind, Jessie Ware was already a guest judge on this show, and they didn't let her do a lip sync on her episode because I believe Ru introduced her as a singer and a podcast sensation, which is crazy because yes, she does have a
But
successful podcast. That's not what she's mainly known for.
but they
Uh,
have done other Jessie Ware songs before. This is not the first time.
no, no, this is the first time as a Jessie
No.
Ware super fan. I literally,
I'm
Greg,
a super fan. Are you sure? I
as
thought
you
they
were
did.
typing this, I just went on the wiki and I just looked at every single page that they have where they list the lip syncs of the UK seasons. This is the first Jessie Ware song that we've had on Drag Race
Wait, did they
UK,
do Free
which
Yourself on the US?
maybe
I think they
I
did it
think
on the
so.
US
Yes,
because I
which
remember seeing a
is
Free Yourself lip sync
yes.
and
I'm
it
actually
not
I'm
being
gonna
great.
yeah. I mean yeah. But either I'm just pulling it up real quick. Yes, they did All Stars 8. They did a
Okay.
no, they did not. Yeah, they have not done a. God damn it! This is so stupid that they haven't done a lip sync as of yet.
Wow.
So yeah, Jessie Ware's first ever lip sync. And if anyone knows, and listen, Greg and I, listen, if you made it this far, that you could hear us rant just a little bit. Jessie Ware, icon, diva, doll, incredible. Every album a banger. Everyone so different and unique in and of itself. And her last two have been so disco pop heavy. And some of the best
Yeah.
pop albums we said, What's Your Pleasure, I will say is one of the best pop albums of the last 10 years. And I'm gonna say that right there. That is a very high echelon. I hold myself to that standard. And it's true. Pearls is a great song. Pearls is a fucking great song, and I love that they did it. And yes, it's Alexa and it's Nyongbella doing the honor of doing a lip sync to Jessie Ware. And Greg, I gotta be honest, they both do pretty good. They really do. I think it's a
They
pretty
did.
even lip sync, truth be told.
I thought it was a very even lip sync, and I thought, sorry, because I was looking online because I just couldn't believe that Free Yourself
I
had not
know.
been a drag race.
I'm a
I was
little
like,
upset. I'm a little
um,
upset. At least
I
they're writing
think
this wrong.
I thought, to be honest, Nyongbella could have won this if her shoes
Mhm.
didn't come off. The second that happened, it just ruined any chance for her to win. Because here's the thing, it wasn't like they just came off. She couldn't, it was an awkward, like, for her to keep moving around in them, and that just like deflated her whole performance.
Yeah.
I thought they were very good, and uh we but also isn't this the third time she's been in the bottom two? She needed to
Yep.
like she needed to destroy to win, to not be
Yep.
eliminated. And once that shoe thing happened, there was no shot for her
No
to
coming
do
back.
it.
Yeah. I was worried about her safety, which is never something you want to experience in a drag race lip
Yes.
sync, but
That
that's what happens. Yeah.
and so Rue says Shantae away, and she goes, KK, bye, and turns around. And then, but
Icon,
she, icon,
diva.
but she did have another line. She was just playing, and she goes, "I guess this doll has been discontinued," which was a good line. I sort of liked
That's a
it.
good
She
line.
stole it before another girl could do it.
Better than whatever the fuck Ava Harrington said in Goddamn Espana, let me tell you.
Um,
But yeah.
yeah. She and when she's in the back of the workroom, she says that she's proud she was able to get here with less than 2 years of drag.
Hmm.
Which, you know what? Props to her. I agree with that, and I'm sure she'll get better if she keeps doing drag. And if you do, by the way, if you support Nyongbella, she just launched a GoFundMe for her transition costs, which I'm guessing
Mm.
are not covered by the National Healthcare Service in Britain as much as I thought it was. Or maybe she just don't want to wait for 3 or 4 years because it takes forever there to get stuff done sometimes. But I would still take it. I would still take a national healthcare service if we could have it in the US. Um,
S-
I did. I think her mirror message was just her writing, by the way. KK bye, love you all, and bye, and a drawing of her face. It was very like, I'm not going to give you anything else. What did you
mhm.
think of Neon Bella's exit?
So as we talked about very early on, yeah, it's okay. I just read it. So her official message was "KK, love you all, duh, XOXO,"
Duh.
which is incredible. But also, Greg, as you pointed out, as we pointed out early on in the episode, it looked like she had erased all references to Drag Race from her Instagram profile, which is kind of a
Hmm.
giant thing that you don't do if you want to continue working in the Drag Race ecosystem here. She did just post her look from this week,
Yeah.
and I just pulled it up and it says Drag Race was absolutely unfabulous. JK, Drag Race was kind of fab, and I met some incredible and amazing people. Forever grateful for it and happy for what's next. So, speed running through that, she's at least kindly acknowledging that she was on it, which is probably good. I'm curious. It seems that she doesn't want to work in the ecosystem anymore, but I think that when she sees fan response, when she sees, as I accurately said, that she is just iconic with everything that she does, she might come back in some form. She might be certainly more appreciative of the experience. We don't know what her direct experience was. Maybe some things happened, but I am glad that she was here. I thought she had a great energy, and I low key I wish that we got to see more of her. Truth be told.
Evan, do you know what that post, which I also saw, told me?
What?
That post told me that she got a much better edit than she thought she was going to get because her
Hmm.
experience was not that positive, and that
Hmm.
all the rumors of her arguing on the runway during critiques were cut out, or that the rumors were true and that it was all cut out. They didn't embarrass her, they
They
didn't embarrass
they
the
didn't
show, and
charity
they didn't,
case her, right?
no.
Yeah.
They were not going to do that. And that is probably what she had been worried about and was concerned about fan backlash and was setting herself up for that. And it doesn't exist. It didn't exist in the show. She got a very kind and positive edit. And I wish her the best. And, maybe someday she'll come back and do Down Under versus the World 4. You never know. Or Canada versus, like, she'd be, you know what? Brooke would love her. She would do great on Canada versus the world.
I
Am I
can't wait to
wrong?
see her beat Xana in a lip sync. I'm so excited for that moment. I can't wait for to see her and Eve 6000. I can't wait to see them go neck and neck in what will no doubt be a
Bombay. I
round.
want to see Bombay send her
Listen,
home.
actually though, Bombay robbed Queen and Halal Bay.
Yes.
I think all the Bays need to come back in the
All the
Bay
best.
versus the world.
Bay
I think
versus the world.
I think we need to make that happen. But as always, do you have thoughts on it? I know you do. I'm just going to double check over here, and I'd love to, there's going to be more in the comment
Let
section.
us
Right
know.
down here, I should put some of the stuff in there. And if you're in the comment section, that means you're probably on our YouTube. Maybe subscribe to our YouTube. Maybe follow us on the Instagram and the Bluesky. And if you have any other comments that can't fit in that comment box, as always, it's a worldwideteapod.gmail.com. And most importantly, can you please do us the kindness and also follow us as we cover España? We're going to have more seasons coming soon. And as always, I'm not sure if you know this, Greg and I will always be there. We always
And
are.
and Evan, guess what might be coming this week? Guess what
What
might
might
be
be coming this
coming?
week? What might be coming?
Canada's Meet the Queens.
You know
Canada's
what?
Meet the Queens.
And this is a regular Canada, right?
It is
This
a
isn't the
regular
first.
Canada with
All
some
right.
big queens on it. Some very popular queens. You're gonna
Okay.
be shocked.
I I'm ready to be shocked all over again. And as always, if you want to be shocked, it doesn't matter what I do. It doesn't matter what I say. For this is who I am and who will I always be. Let the music play. Thank you for listening. We'll talk to you next week, everybody. Goodbye.